Growing up, I always dreamed of living aboard the Starship Enterprise, or the Millennium Falcon, or even being a part of the SG-1 team to seek out new cultures, new lands, and, all of that. Of course, I knew it was impossible, but the dream never went away. Some part of it stayed inside of me forever. It was only years later that I discovered the concept of living aboard a sailboat and explore the world. And wouldn't you know it, it's not all that different. You have the crew quarters, helming stations, you need to take everything with you, food, water, spare parts, and you need to take care of those systems so that they don't fail on you and keep up with maintenance, just like in the Enterprise. A sailboat even has a ship's computer with a bunch of sensors: water depth, water temperature, wind speed, wind direction. It's actually very similar when you come to think about it. Of course, instead of exploring the galaxy, you'll be exploring the oceans. But trust me, they are so big. You can spend your whole life exploring and you'll never see all of it. And the coolest thing is, a very normal day aboard can quickly end up looking like a Star Trek episode. This one time, we were trapped by a foreign object. We couldn't see what it was and we just couldn't move. There was the time where we received a distress call from a ship nearby and we had to use the shuttle to go and rescue them. Or even the time a strange bug attacked our fuel reserves, causing us to lose propulsion near the rocks in a very rough sea. I promise you, these are all 100% true stories. This is Starry Night, a courageous, plucky sailboat who has only one dream: to sail around the world and have lots of adventures. No, not like that. It's around the world, not through it. But not everything was going to plan. Starry Night was abandoned on the heart for 12 full years. But one day, he found us. My name is Paulo, and this is Katerina, and these are our two very overactive kids. After a crazy amount of work, Starry Night is once again ready to sail the oceans. So sit back, relax, and join us in this adventure, and we will all find out together where Starry Night will end up next. We were anchored in Alvor, a small Class M village in the Portugal system. The anchorage there is very small. It can barely fit like 6 or 7 boats. The rest of them are in moorings. And this captain comes in. He doesn't quite have the space to anchor there, but he decides he's going to anchor between the boats that are already there and the shore. The problem there is that, or in all of Portugal, you have a delta of tides of about 3.5 meters sometimes. So he miscalculated the tide, and the tide wasn't even halfway out, and he was already hard aground. Of course, we saw he was in problem. We saw his distress call, and we all went to help. We get in our dinghy, which is our shuttle, and we go and we try to get him out of there. We looped some halyards onto the dinghies and we used our engines to pull him. The idea was for the top of the mast to pull the boat like this, lifting him off the ground so we can drag him out. Yeah, but it was to no avail. At that time, the only thing that we could do was like move the boat from one side to the other side, but it just wouldn't budge. In the end, he ended up going sleeping in another captain's ship, and we waited for the tide to come up, and then they were able to remove the boat safely. A couple of months earlier, we were ready to leave port, so we go to pick up our anchor, and it was stuck.
Did you see that fucking thing? It's wrapped around the fucking... The fuck is that?
But this was a different kind of stuck. So when I started motoring and moving forward, when the chain got taut, the bow of the boat just went like 1 meter into the water. It was crazy. We tried backwards, we tried moving around, there was nothing we could do. So I had to go in the water. It was freezing cold, but I had to go and check what it was. So when I got down there, I see that the chain is wrapped 3 times around the pulpit of the bow of a sinking ship that happened to be right beneath where we decided to anchor. So after a lot of effort and pulling the chain, we were able to release. So what started as a normal let's just go ended up to being quite an adventure. And it was my fault because I could have done my job as a captain better. It wasn't on the chart. The wreck wasn't on the chart. But if you look on Google Maps and you select satellite view, you can actually see the outline of this sunken ship. There is a strange bug in our galaxy that lives in the interface between water and diesel. It might seem that I'm making this up, but I'm not. You can Google it if you want. It's called diesel bug. And what happens is when big tanks are half full or half empty, depending on what kind of person you are, the condensation that accumulates inside the tank eventually finds its way, because water is heavier than diesel, finds its way to the bottom of the tank. And you end up with having a layer of water and then the diesel on top of that. Now, in this interface, there's a bug that can live there. And it creates, as it multiplies, it creates a kind of sludge, like a black sludge. Normally, this isn't a big problem because the sludge just goes down to the end of the tank. So even if it happens like in a car, it's never such a big problem. But on a boat, when you get into rough seas, the movement and the shaking of the tank causes that black sludge to dislodge from the walls of the tank, and they find their way into the output of the tank, clogging it up. And usually this happens when the sea is in the worst state possible, and what this means is that you lose your fuel intake and you lose your engine.
Oh, fuck!
It happened to us as we were trying to bend the Cape, and the seas were like very rough, and there was the rocks right there. And the engine just started sputtering, and then it just died. And we couldn't get it back up working. We ended up having to sail back to the port where we started from. So a bug stopped us from going on our journey. I guess the point of all this, what I'm trying to say, is that even if your dream seems impossible, there's always a way to make it so. So don't wait for spaceships to exist. Get out there and make your own episodes. Happy New Year. Cheers!